So, a lot of stuff has happened this week. Twitter
Uh,
died,
too much.
free agency in both the NHL and NBA. And
I
also, did I
forgot.
mention that Twitter died?
Eh,
Oh, so
oh
annoying.
my goodness, people! If you want to understand, just do a Google search. Just type Elon Musk Twitter, and you'll find it, and you'll have your mind blown for how stupid
Yeah, but
and
don't look at
goofy it
it.
is.
Don't look at it on Twitter because your rate limit has been exceeded.
You saw one of the teams tweeted that as well, right?
Oh yeah, did you see our
It's Nashville,
Twitter
right?
banner? Did you see our Twitter banner?
No,
Let
I've
me let
so
me
I
let me
leaked the
let me
last two
show the
games because of the
people.
way that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a yep, right
And for
here.
anybody who's listening to it, it just says rate limit
Rate limit
exceeded. So
exceeded.
funny. When I saw that tweet from like the Nashville Predators,
Yeah. Yeah, that's
it
where I got the
was
idea from. Thanks, Brad.
so
Appreciate it.
funny. I'm glad they're at least self-aware. It was really funny when I saw
It was
that.
so annoying trying to keep track of all of the free agent signings because it was like a record amount of signings on July 1st. And I'm like, okay, the Penguins are doing literally everything. The Leafs are being silent, so like I'm not missing much there.
The Kraken have made
But
literally two moves.
two moves, I think both of them are decent though. They're not terrible.
Mhm.
They need a goalie still, but
Well, they can't do much about that right now.
yeah. So, which team in free agency do you want to start with? Because there are many different ways we could go about this. This show is not going to be structured at all. We're just going to talk
Yeah, we're kind
about
of just gonna
a
go
bunch of
as
stuff.
like gonna go a little like all over.
Yeah.
Let's start with your team.
You want to start with Toronto?
Yeah.
All right. So, the Leafs did some things. Their day one of free agency wasn't like it wasn't great. I was not satisfied at it at all. Um so basically on the first day of free agency, the Leafs signed Ryan Reeves to a $1.3 million average annual value contract with term for 3 years.
They signed
Um
Ryan Reeves for three. I don't even care about the money. The
yeah,
fact that you brought Ryan Reeves in for 3 years.
he'll be 39 when that contract is over. Ryan Reeves is 36
Okay.
years old.
Oh, good God.
I mean, I don't know how to feel about it because I do think he brings something that the Leafs need, like whether it's their locker room or their toughness issue, because it has been an issue for the last couple of years. To
And he
me,
has
that
been on a
contract
guy
is
has
very,
gone on big runs.
yeah, like I don't know if he's going to be a regular. It might be the Wayne Simmons type deal where he dresses in like 50 games or something like that.
They'd probably use him a decent bit in the playoffs, probably.
Oh yeah, they're going to use him a bunch. Like I don't know how to feel about it because at one end, if they gave him a 1 year deal at 1.3, I wouldn't have cared too much. But they can buy out this contract. Like it's not like
No.
they're paying him
The
5 million,
money's
but
not the issue.
it's the term.
Yeah.
Like, and all their other signings were 1 year. So like of all the guys they signed, they give term to the like worst player of the bunch because he had 15 points last
Yeah, so
year,
the other three were Sean Klingberg, Tyler
which
Bertuzzi, which I was
yikes,
kind of surprised to see that name end up with
loved it.
Colorado. With Blackhawks last year. The answer is this many people. Unless your name was Alex Stalock. Yikes. But he went over to it was Dallas, correct? Yeah, it was Dallas.
Yeah, he did.
And he balled out in the playoffs. I think he had like 15 points in like 19, 20 games or something like that. He played
Yeah, something
really
like
good.
that. Yeah, Domi was pretty good. I've liked Domi for a long time. Even though he was like oh, Montreal's better, and people were like, I saw like rumblings on Twitter, like people saying like Montreal's better than Toronto, and I'm like, guys, he played for the Habs. What did you want him to say?
I was about to say his best year was with the Habs, ironically.
It was like, and far and beyond his best years. Like he was a damn good Hab.
Oh yeah.
like yeah, he was a damn good hab. Like I'm very encouraged by the Bertuzzi and Domi signings because like both of them aren't like crazy money. Domi's making 3, Bertuzzi's making 5.5. Like
And both
it's
of them, if they
not.
play good, you could extend them most likely.
I can see them extending Domi. I don't see them extending Bertuzzi unless the Leafs do what I really don't want them to do, and this is like kind of the elephant in the room with this team right now because of course it's one thing after the other. Um, according to Chris Johnston and Elliot Friedman, who are like the main NHL insiders, it's where like really everyone gets their information before it
Mm-hmm.
happens. The Leafs gave William Nylander an offer around $8 million with term. I think it was a
Okay.
five-year contract with $8 million as the average annual value. William Nylander wants 10, and like my
10.
eyes widen at it at first, but I'm
Oh my
like,
God.
he's a 40 goal scorer and he's a playoff performer, so like,
And then you also have to clarify Tavares is getting 11. Matthews is
yeah,
gonna get a fat bag, i.e.
yeah,
a lot of
like
money. Marner's
I
making 11 million.
I
Oh my
hate
God, the
saying
five's
this, but
going.
I don't think William Nylander is wearing a Leafs jersey at very most next season, and I'll be surprised if he wears one on opening night. I don't know.
Here's what I'm gonna say to that. I think they do keep him long term. What I think is gonna happen is they're gonna throw out one of two names. It's either gonna be JT or it's gonna be Mitch Marner. And
It's got to
I'm
be
gonna stand.
JT.
I think it's gonna be Marner.
To me, I the reason why I think it's JT, like if you can extend Nylander 1 year after this one, because the common ground might be extend William Nylander the year after this one for around 9 million if you can do it. Wait for all of the big force contracts to be up and then prioritize who you want to bring back. You can afford 3 of the 4. It just depends on the money. Because by then, Matthews will already have his extension by then if they get it in. So he'll be making around 13. And then you got to play with the numbers with Marner and Nylander. I think Marner gets around the same he is now, and Nylander gets 10. But that still saves you a bunch of money. That still saves you $7 million. So if they can do something like that, maybe I could see Nylander in a Leafs jersey. But other than that, I don't see it. I don't think he's back, which sucks.
I can understand that.
Like the only way I see Toronto winning a William Nylander trade is if they can get a second line caliber center out of them when JT inevitably leaves in 2 years, or just takes a massive pay cut in 2 years, whichever one, because he's
Fair.
not an $11 million player.
Okay.
Like I don't know. There's like so many different scenarios that can happen. I'm just in the camp where it's like I don't have any malice towards him. I love William Nylander. Like I've loved him the entire time he's been here. I think it's a case where he's such a good player where he's priced himself out. It's good for him. His bank account's he's gonna get a fat check in the mail, but the Leafs are gonna lose a good player and it sucks.
It's understandable. You think maybe the Tyler Bertuzzi signing could be a mistake in the long run?
No, because it's only a 1 year deal. Like you can it's one of those things where like all of the 1 year deals I have no problem with at all. Because like you
Mm.
just get a guy for a year, you know what you're getting, and then Tyler Bertuzzi, I know for a fact he's walking, especially with the cap going up next season. He's walking because you mean
Yeah,
to
I
tell me
guess to
if
be
that
fair,
guy
this is
scores
to help
30
with losing
goals,
Bunting and O'Reilly.
yeah, because like you mean to tell me the guy scores 30 goals this year, which he has the ability to do. If he gets 30, he's getting at least 7 million next year, and he's walking. At least aren't affording a
Sheesh,
7 mil guy.
that's crazy.
Yeah. But like speaking of the Leafs, like they got a lot of decent talent in, but the guys they lost, it's a mixed bag to me. Some of them hurt, some of them really hurt. Um, like I'll get to the like the biggest one last because that one was a bit of a weird one, and I think that's why Tyler Bertuzzi got signed. So Bunting goes to Carolina for a 5.5 million AAV contract. I believe it was for 5 years, which for him, like he deserved that. He was a really good player for Toronto. Like he had the bad rep with taking the penalties, but he was a good player objectively. Um,
Yeah.
Nola Chari follows Kyle Dubas, which, ow, that hurts. I wish we could have kept him. The other one that hurts is Luke Shen leaving. I wish I could have kept him too, because Luke Shen coming back for a little bit was great since he hadn't been in the Leafs organization since I think like 2010. It's been a long time. And then the funniest
Yeah.
one, arguably the worst signing of free agency, was the Yzer plan. I don't know if it's a plan anymore. It might just be on a sticky note at this point. They signed Justin Hall to a 3-year, $3.4 million contract, AAV.
Just and it's wild because I don't really know what the Red Wings are doing because they signed a lot of guys.
I know. And
I mean, I could list the names from like Christian Fisher. They brought in Shane Gostisbehere, and a lot of these people are on 1-year deals. They
Ghost
brought in
Despair is
Klim
not bad.
Costin for 2 years. They brought in James Reimer.
Wow.
Like what? You already have Husso. You have Nedeljkovic.
They don't have Nedeljkovic
Oh, wait, is
anymore.
Nedeljkovic gone? I
Yeah,
forgot.
ironically, the Reimer contract
Oh, did
made
they buy him
Nedeljkovic
out?
walk. No, his contract just ran.
Oh, I forgot. I just
He's with
ran. So now
he's with
he's with the
Pittsburgh.
Pets, but Penguins. He
He's with
ignored me on that one.
Pittsburgh.
But like, is that really an upgrade to Nedeljkovic? It's not. That's
No,
a
it's a
downgrade. I'm
downgrade.
sorry. Now you're putting more pressure on Billy Husso, who didn't have a great year last year. He was either really good or really bad, and there was no in between with him.
Yeah.
With a guy who was not good the last few seasons.
Like
And then like a lot of the other guys are really just like no one's really a big like I don't know. I mean, I get they brought in. I guess the big one they did bring in JT Confer, but like even I just think that's just a bad fit with the way their team plays.
I didn't think it was a good fit either. And like to give you an idea with the Red Wings decor, they currently have Ben Sherratt and Justin Hall for like $8.1 million. They're making
Yeah.
$8.1 million together a year, and they're probably going to be on a D pairing together, which is like the worst. That is a nightmare.
Take
And you want
that.
Ville Husso to be better?
And mind you, also Alimad is still there.
And Oli Mata's probably not the worst defenseman they have.
No, and that's the sad bit.
Like
Like,
Gostisbehere, I think is decent. I think he gets traded at the deadline. I think that's a deadline piece.
I
But
mean, they're
god
really just
damn.
that's the issue. They're gonna make Morris Sider and Jake Wallman have to stand on their heads, and
And like,
that's gonna ruin them unless Ben Sherratt
yeah,
is gonna help them.
which he won't.
Probably not. Oh my god, I
Like
really don't. They might be one of the biggest. I would say one of the biggest losers, but no, there's a bigger one in my head.
Detroit is one of the biggest ones because they also put Joe Valeno on waivers today.
Yeah, I did not understand that one.
I I don't know what they're trying to do because they had a bunch of cap space, and then how much do they have now? They have 9.9 million right now, so they have room to do something, but that team is not looking too hot right now.
No, there are worse teams, ironically, even in like on their side that I think
Yeah,
did
there
way
are.
worse. And I can name two right off the get go.
Who do you think are like the biggest losers of free agency? And like,
I'll
just tell
start
me
with one.
why. Yeah.
Columbus
Yeah. Agreed.
crap trades, and then mind you, they signed
No guys.
no one because the whole joke of it, nobody wants to play. And then mind you, they lost Gavin Bayreuther
Yeah.
to Dallas. Like
And I'm kind of surprised that no
it was
one like
awful.
I'm kind of surprised at the narrative that like no one wants to play in Columbus
Now I don't think
because
they do.
people want to play because like I guess it has to do with the skill of the team as well. Because there are like teams in that area that people want to play for. Like it's not like it's just this remote area and it's not nice. Like it's a
No,
nice
but
city. It's just
they also just shot themselves in the foot with the, like I said, the Provorov and the Damon Severson moves were
yeah,
both stupid. And then, mind you, think about who their coach is for a second,
Mike
and all the stuff that
Babcock.
came out with yes,
Oof.
it's gonna make it tough to make players want to go play for him.
Think
It,
they got a good guy in the draft in Fantilli because I think the Ducks kind of fumbled on that deal. But ugh, they're just a really young team, so like it's kind of hard to judge. But I do agree that they lost the deadline a bit because they didn't really address any needs that they had.
they took
Because
steps
goaltending is still
backwards.
shaky.
Well, they're kind of screwed at that right now. Elvis is on either year one or year two of a 5-year deal.
With like no guys really in front of him. Like he has a couple of guys, but Renski's injury prone. Severson is okay. And
Provorov's
Provorov
been
isn't
terrible.
good defensively either. So like I don't know what the plan is going forward with them. Who do you think
Yeah,
the
and
other team
I,
is?
I got. I'll let you take a guess.
Is it Anaheim?
Think meme.
Think meme. Who's a
Who was
meme?
one of the biggest memes last?
Biggest
Think
memes
playoffs, and you'll
last year?
understand.
Bruins? You think Boston
Oh
is?
yes. Oh
Okay.
yes.
Why
Well, their
you say
moves
that?
suck, and I could start with all of them. Morgan Geeky for 2 years, I think, is a massive, like, especially he was probably one of our weakest players last year. I would have liked them to bring him back, but he's probably going to end up getting third, possibly even second line minutes with how Boston's team is shaping up. And he's not that. He's never going to be that. They brought in Kevin Shattenkirk, who's been dog crap with their
Yeah.
already weak defense, in which they lost. They lost Tyler Bertuzzi and Orlov. They couldn't resign either of them. But yet they'll bring in Milan Lucic? Like, what?
Yeah. They
What the
still have
hell is wrong with
6.2
you?
with 6.2 mil, they could have gotten one of those guys back. I guess they're saving it for Swayman.
And they signed JVR. They signed Milan
Yeah.
Lucic and JVR and didn't want to bring in Tyler. They couldn't take that money they signed for those two and give it to Tyler Bertuzzi. Really? Or
Yeah.
Orlov.
Like a bunch of
Or
their
the money they
guys
gave to
they
Geeky.
signed. A bunch of the guys they signed are like value contracts, but like
That's
because
not what you
Geeky's at
need right
2
now.
mil. Oh, it's not. Because Geeky's 2 mil. Ben Riemsdyk's 1 million, which is decent. Shattenkirk is 1 mil, which isn't bad either. I mean, like, I don't think they really addressed any of their needs. I think they lost more
No.
than they gained.
Because you know what teams need to just like do small value contracts? Your team.
Yep.
My team needs to do a little more bigger stuff. Vegas. I'd say the Caps to a degree because they really don't signing big players aren't going to help them.
I mean, they only
You
signed
know,
one guy.
yeah, damn, it's Max Pacioretty.
Not a
Don't get me
bad
started.
player.
Yeah, it was Max Pacioretty who's been hurt for like God knows how long. But like they needed bigger. They had bigger and more pressing issues to worry about than giving out these value contracts, and it wasn't even to like really good guys, like guys who
Nah.
are going to be beneficial for them next year, mind you. Like I said, a team like Colorado or your team or the Sabres or the Sens, teams like that should be giving out value contracts because they
Yeah.
have the team already around in place. Boston has a team that's only going to be around for maybe 1 or 2 more seasons.
Because they
If
haven't
that,
re-signed Bergeron yet.
Bergeron has resigned. Has
Krejci isn't back yet.
Krejci isn't back. How long do you have left with Marchand? 2, 3 years?
Where's Marchand? Marchand has 2 more years and he's 35.
He's 35. Yeah. And
Yoy.
I think he'll still keep playing good for 2 or 3 more years. But like, you have 1 or 2 more years left, if that. And this is the best you're giving your
Yeah.
fans after that season last year. That is disgraceful.
To me, it
And
kind of
then
looks
to
like
top it all off,
Boston is doing what Pittsburgh tried to do last year with the old man game. and I don't think it's going to work unless their goalie just bails them
No,
out.
and I don't think Linus Ullmark is going to stand on his head the way he did last year.
I don't really think so either because most of the Boston success was around their defense.
I mean, yeah, and like I said, they lost Orlov and Connor Clifton. Connor Clifton went to a
Damn.
rival in the Sabres.
And Orlov went to Carolina.
Yep, which makes
Wow.
them one of the biggest winners already in my eyes for free
Carolina
agency.
did really good. Carolina did really, really good.
And like I said, you think about the fact that next season with Carolina, their first pairing is going to be Brent Burns and Dmitry Orlov.
Oh my god. And they have Jacob Slavin
God,
and Brett Pesci.
yeah, and Brett Pesci, like God help every team
Wow.
in the Metro.
I
Like I know there's a lot of
oh
decent teams in the Metro, but God help everybody in their in that division because they're gonna need it with that. Those two are a nightmare together. And like I said, and they signed Michael Bunting to a deal that I thought isn't even that bad.
Michael Bunting's deal is decent. Oh, he got 4.5 million. Never mind. But his
I thought someone was gonna be the
deal is very
stupid Jason
good.
drink six give six.
I'm shocked they didn't give him like over 5 mil, but still that's pretty good.
That's
Like,
really good considering how much I thought they were gonna over the team that I thought was gonna overpay.
yeah, because like the Metro was
Those are the two
super
biggest losers in my
active.
opinion on the East.
I agree with that. The other big loser to me is Anaheim, just because of the contracts they signed. Like they just
I
signed
didn't
too
see.
many old guys.
Didn't they
So
just sign Killorn?
let me get into their cap friendly real quick. They signed Alex Killorn
Okay.
to a 4-year, $6.25 million contract. To give you an idea,
Which
Alex
you knew
Killorn is
someone like that.
30.
Yeah.
He's 33 years old, which is what makes
He's
it
33?
yikes.
Oh
Yeah,
God.
which makes it a yikes.
Oh,
Like who else did they sign? Because I know the Henrique one was pretty
they signed
bad.
Radko Gudas.
Radko Gudas to a 3-year, $4 million deal. He's also 33, which is also a yikes. John Gibson doesn't want to
I
play another game for him.
the only thing I could understand with those two is being like placeholders. But then again, like they've done this the last few years with guys like Klingberg and Shattenkirk and guys like that. Like I
Like,
don't
and they
know
have
what they're
so
doing.
many guys. They have so many guys on their entry level contracts that need deals. So, like, Trevor Zegras needs a deal. Troy Terry needs a deal. This
Terry.
is this year. Jamie Drysdale needs a deal. Lucas Dostal needs a deal. Like, this is
Oh,
just the Ducks are in a bad spot.
mind you, they also lost their backup.
Yeah, they did. Like
Stallers went to Florida.
John Gibson, and Gibson doesn't want to play there anymore. Which, if I'm the Penguins after
That's gonna be
signing
really
Tristan
bad for a
Jarry to
while.
that contract, oh shit, I wouldn't have done that.
Nah.
Except the
I
Penguins
mean,
are in on
Jari is elite.
Jarry is no, no, no. He's okay. Here's my opinion on Tristan Jarry. And like I know like my fantasy hockey group chat is probably listening to this right now. And I know that like one of my friends loves Tristan Jarry. So here is my opinion on him. I don't think that he is necessarily a bad goalie. When he's dialed in, he's one of the better goalies in the league. To me, Tristan Jarry is dead smack average, also known as mid. Because when he has his games where he's on, he's really good, like 9-12 save percentage, very decent. Games where he is not on, where he's in his head, he is fucking terrible. Like, go back and watch game 81 against the Chicago Blackhawks
The
and tell me
Blackhawks,
that
yeah, that was
Tristan
bad.
Jarry is an elite goaltender.
No, I can't.
Granted, I get that his defense in front of him didn't do him any favors last year, but watch him in game 81 or watch him in the Islander series in 2021. He is not an elite goaltender. He's not. He hasn't proved it
No.
yet. He's proven that he's a decent goaltender. He's proven that he's a decent starter, but he hasn't gotten to the upper echelon of goaltenders yet. He just hasn't done it. So, do I think he's worth $5.375 million? Absolutely not. Do I think he's worth around three? Probably. I just think the goaltending market was so shitty this year that Dubas didn't have a choice. And that's one of those things where what are you going to do?
Yeah. Although bringing in Dalkovich will help as like a backup, and the Smith is there still, so they have options if they need to. But
DeSmith is getting bought out bought out or traded, in my opinion.
maybe.
Because to me, the reason why the Penguins didn't make the playoffs was Casey DeSmith was god fucking awful in the majority of his games. Like I'd have to look up his because like even in the World Championships with Team USA, he wasn't good either. Like
Uh,
he
you
like
know
he
what's
just
funny?
wasn't all that great. What's
Yeah,
funny?
that stinks. I'm gonna quickly tell a story. It was my first hockey game I ever went to in person. It was sophomore year, so 2 years back. It was with my
Yeah.
friend who watches this back from Philly. It was Ducks, Pens. The game was 1-0. A goal from Brock McGinn, in
Who plays
which
for the
Casey
Ducks?
DeSmith got. Yeah, that's funny to say that. He went over in the Dmitry Kulikov deal, didn't he? Or did he just? Or is that two
Yeah.
different deals?
Yeah, he did.
But yeah, like, he scored the only goal, and Casey DeSmith put up a 38 save shutout.
Was I there? I might have been there. I might have been there with my girlfriend, which is funny as hell. I think I might have been there.
That's wild. But yeah, so it's kind of a shame he like just as struggled as he does. And the thing is I looked at how the Penguins went about it, and I think they made a lot of moves that I think are solid. Like even the 6-year deal with Ryan Graves, I think they're buying at the
Decent.
right time to give him a deal. They brought in
Brian
Achari for
Dumoulin
3 years,
replacement. Nachari was a
Lars
good
Eller for
one.
2 years, which I think is a great leadership signing. Mind you, they also traded for Riley Smith, and they really didn't give up a ton to get him.
They just got it. They gave up a third for him, which
Third,
for
which is
that
wild.
quality of player, that second line is going to be Riley Smith, Evgeny Malkin, and Brian Rust. That's pretty damn good.
Like if Riley, I'll be shocked if Riley Smith doesn't put up a 60, 70 point season next year. I'll be kind of shocked because he's really good. He was really good
He's
on
cracking at
Vegas' second line.
least 50. I think his
He had
floor is
56
50.
last season, so he's got to at
I
least
think he's
get
getting
50.
50.
He had 26
Yeah.
goals last season.
Dude, Dubas did a really to me the Penguins were one of the biggest winners of free agency because the contracts they signed weren't crazy in value minus the Tristan Jarry thing, but we'll see how that turns out. It could
Yeah.
be good, could be
I
not
wasn't a huge
good.
fan of the Matt Nieto contract for like
It's
2 million.
only
It was two like 2-ish
900K.
million. Oh, was
900K
a
for
lot of
2 years.
those.
Yeah.
I guess so.
The Penguins are
Uh,
weird with how they announce contracts. So like they announce the full worth of the contract rather than the AAV for it. So
yeah.
like initially reading like the tweet or the Instagram post, you're like, oh shit, they signed a really bad guy for like 1.8 million. And then you look into the details, like, oh, it's 900K a year. That's not bad.
That's wild because I think to let someone like they let Brian Dumoulin go, they let Dmitry Kulikov go, they let Jason Zucker go, and he could have stayed. And I think all those were actually surprisingly probably the right calls.
I think all of them were the right call based on how they replaced the guys. Because Riley Smith was
Mm-hmm.
a Zucker replacement. And I think Riley Smith will arguably have a better impact because he has a little bit more speed. Nola
Yeah,
Chari bolsters the bottom six because that was the main problem last year. The Penguins' main problem was I remember there was a stretch of like 15 games where the top six had like 96% of the scoring and the bottom six had like 2 goals in 15 games or something crazy. I think Brock McGinn and Jeff Carter had 0 points in 17 games or something crazy like that.
Hey,
That's
God.
why Brock McGinn was shipped off. They were both
And they
god
and they
awful.
really can't do anything about Carter, so they're gonna have to hope he figures it out this next season.
Carter's got 1 year left, and they're just going to float him on the fourth line.
Yeah. See what happens.
That was
uh
Ron Hextall's worst contract. That was the worst one he's ever signed. That Carter deal, man. That oh my god. He was good when he first got to Pittsburgh. I remembered he was really I bought his fucking jersey. He was that good his first year.
Hmm.
I have a Pittsburgh Penguins away jersey of Jeff Carter. I own a Penguins Jeff Carter jersey, which is like that no, but that tells you like how good he was his first year. Because
Yeah.
I remember in all of my circles that watched hockey, whenever he scored a goal, I would get texts in all caps that said Big Daddy Jeff on it. It was funny as shit. And then his second year, oh my
Oh
God,
my
he's
God.
fucking dog shit.
That's brutal.
I don't know what the worst jersey I own is because this is like a little anecdotal. What's the worst jersey I own? I don't know if it's the Phil one with Arizona. Oh God, what is the worst one? It might be the Carter one because
It
that
might
looks
be the
pretty
car.
bad.
It's either the Carter one or the Kessel one. They're both pretty bad.
Kessel at least was decent with Arizona.
Not as last year.
Not as last year, but no one was decent that last year.
That's true.
It's got to be Jeff Carter.
Yeah.
I also have a curse with jerseys though. I'm never allowed to buy a jersey during the NHL season because the last time, like the last like 10 times I've gotten a jersey, whether I bought one or it was for a holiday or a birthday, all of them have gotten hurt. All of them.
Really.
All of them. I got a Matthews jersey twice. His first wrist injury was when I got the St. Pat's one. His second wrist injury was when I got the next gen jersey one by like the Bieber jersey. John Tavares got the concussion in the playoffs when I got his jersey. Um, Sidney Crosby got a concussion when I got his. Jake Gensel had a shoulder injury when I got his. Evgeny Malkin had a knee injury. Like, yeah, like you get the point.
Oh
It's
my
so many.
God.
So many of them have gotten hurt. Like, it is just crazy. But
You know,
let's go to your team
all right.
because I want your opinion on these. You go
I
ahead
mean,
and give us the rundown.
there wasn't a ton that Seattle's done so far. I mean, they let a few guys walk. I think they really only one, I think, was a mistake, and that was Sprong.
Yeah, I agree.
I really wish we would have kept him, but Detroit gave him a good, better value, I think. So in return, they are trying Connor Carrick and Yamamoto. I'm guessing the answer is they're probably going to let Colin come up and play next season, or let Ty Cartier play on a lower spot.
I think they're going to do
One of
both
the two, probably both.
because both of
So
them
it
played
makes
really
the
good.
loss a little. It makes that loss a little
Yeah.
easier to swallow. But like, I was shocked when I saw Carson Soucy got a 3-year deal. I
Yeah,
was
I
like,
was
yeah,
surprised.
bye. You know what? We have Kale Fleury. We'll make it work. I'm not like part. And then we signed Brian Dumoulin, in which uh
I think it could be
I
decent
here's
if
my
he plays
issue.
second or third pair of minutes.
That's the issue here. I look at him and I'm like, I don't know where he's gonna play. I don't see a pairing in
Um,
which he's gonna play well.
he's
Not
played
with
with
Dunn. He's
Justin
gonna be
Schultz before.
it was not great.
He's played with Justin Schultz before in the playoffs with Pittsburgh. So
Yes,
I think if
maybe.
you reunite that defensive pairing, it could get you some good minutes in the second or third pair role.
Yeah, I don't know. I was watching Schultz play. That's kind of I kind of do miss Susie a little bit because
Yeah.
he made Schultz look so good through that season that
Like you
he had
guys,
with us last season. So it's just like I don't know. I
your
Dumoulin's gonna
situation
have to play
is
on a bottom
decent.
three.
Yeah.
spot on the defense. If he plays, like, I would rather him just be on the third line at this point. They're not gonna with the guy they paid 2 years. They're not gonna play him on the third line. It's gonna annoy me.
No.
But it's like I don't think he's better than Larson, Dunn, Borgen, or Elysiak. I don't think he's better than any of those four personally.
Yeah, because right
Maybe
now
Borgen, but that's it.
your situation right now is you need to get Vince Dunn under contract because he's an RFA right
I'd
now,
extend
which
him.
you guys will get him extended.
And I think that's
But
what the reason we're quiet, like kind of quiet
yeah,
with our moves, is that we
yeah,
want to make sure we have the cap, which we have a ton of cap right now, to keep him. So I think that's part of the reason.
yeah. Like the
Um,
Kraken have $14.5 million to work with. You
he's
guys need to
really the only big
re-sign
guy. He's really the only
Vince
big
Dunn.
guy. Him and maybe Colin.
You
That's
need to
it.
get Vince Dunn, Will Borgen, and Kale Fleury under contract. The rest of your guys are under contract for the upcoming season.
Morgan, I'm not like, especially now with Dumoulin, I'm not as pressed if he
Yeah.
does walk. Flurry, I do want to keep because I liked him when we drafted him. I really
Hmm.
want to keep him, and Cole Lind is going to be great. So they're not going to mess that one up.
I think they're
Most
calling him
likely,
up.
they're going to call him up, so they're not going to mess that one up. Everyone else, not that worried about. So
So
it's
your
and
decor
then the
right
other
now,
one, yeah, decor right now is currently done. Larson, Elysiak,
Dunn,
Borgen,
Larson.
uh, Dumoulin, Schultz, Flurry, Magna.
That's not terrible. Because
Yeah, Flurry and
Alexiak
Magna will
and
probably come in with times.
Larson has some size to them.
Yes. And
Dumoulin,
Larson gets better through the year usually.
Dumoulin and Schultz are decent together, so I think they're going to play together. Vince Dunn, I think, is the defenseman, like the franchise cornerstone defenseman. You still have Jared McCann for a long time.
There's no one really we
Uh,
need to worry about in the offensive pairing for the
no.
next 2 years, I think. Next 2 years, I don't think I have many people to worry about.
Next
Um,
year, Eberle's a UFA, Wenberg's a UFA, and then you got a bunch of RFAs in Yamamoto, Tolvanen, and Beniers.
yeah, we'll
You
keep
can get them all
Beniers
signed.
easily, and yeah, well, I'm not too worried. So I like the idea, and then like I said, what you just stated, the other deal was they signed Kyle Yamamoto from the Oilers. It's like you from a rival, and I like that, and
I like that deal.
I like the idea. He's gonna play on the fourth line or the third line with Tolvanen and Bjorkstrand and guys like that. And I think he's a good fit. He was solid defensively with the Oilers.
You want to annoy the shit
So
out of people? Put him
what?
and Yanni Gord together on a line. That'll be annoying as hell.
Oh my
That'll
god.
be
That
annoying
actually,
as
oh
hell.
my god. I just thought about it. You put Yamamoto on the left, you put Yanni Gord down the middle, Oliver Bjorkstrand to the right.
That is annoying as fuck.
Oh, we are going to make
That's like
everybody angry next year. I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna love it.
that's
I'm
like a
gonna
bunch of
love it. I'm gonna love it.
mosquitoes getting at you in your backyard. You're trying to smack them all off of you and you can't.
And all three of them will just annoy you, for check you into submission, and then punch you in the face.
Oh yeah, like they'll that I like the Kraken. I think they can run it back again. I
Do.
do.
Now I'm really hoping we don't do something stupid and say, here's Colin and Ty Cartier for Eric Carlson. Don't do that.
Are you guys in for Eric
Don't
Carlson?
do it. I really hope not.
I don't think you guys are in on Eric Carlson. I think it's down to two teams.
I hope it's not us. If we drink the stupid
Le-
juice and trade for him, I'll never forgive Seattle. I don't care about his 100-point season. No,
so
I will lose my mind.
Oh, hang on a second. There was some news that possibly just broke on Vladimir Tarasenko.
Oh, like just
Yeah,
now.
I just got a notice for it. Vladimir Tarasenko to the Carolina Hurricanes. He will be signing with the Hurricanes. The
Are
details
you?
aren't
Oh, you're
known
kidding.
yet. No, the details aren't known yet.
Oh my God.
Dude, the Canes are fucking nuts. Oh my god.
I'm so glad they're on the East. I'm so glad they're in the East.
Dude, they are going for
Oh
it.
my God. Come on.
Wow. I
Last
was
year
not
must have
expecting
really
that.
broken them. Losing four straight to Florida must have broken them. That's insane.
Does Cap Friendly have him on there
So
yet?
let me get this straight.
He's not on there yet.
Not yet.
Oh,
So
and
let
the
me get this
Penguins
straight.
just
Let
got
me
Will
just think
Butcher.
about. Really? All right.
Yeah, okay, go. There's too many signings happening right now.
Nah, nah, you're good.
I'm
So let
getting
me
off
get
Cap
this
Friendly.
straight. They're gonna have. Oh my God, I'm thinking about this right now. They're gonna have Aho, Kokaniemi, Martinuk, Spestikov, Teravainen, Jordan Stahl, Seth Jarvis, Martin Nietzsche, and Tarasenko,
To give you an idea,
and Michael Bunting.
this is their top three lines right now. Top three
Oh
lines as of
my
right now.
God.
Teuvo Teravainen, Sebastian Aho, Seth Jarvis. Line two, Andrei Svechnikov, Martin Necas, Vladimir Tarasenko. Third line, Michael Bunting, Jordan Stahl, Jesperi Kotkaniemi. Holy
If it wasn't for the fact
shit.
that Riley and Malkin would play on the second line, Riley Smith and Malkin play on the second line, that actually might be the best second line in hockey.
That's probably the best top 12 in hockey. Holy shit. That's probably the most
What the
balanced.
fuck?
Holy shit. How much
What
did
the
they pay him? And then
If
here's their
I see
defense,
he has
too.
a 3-year deal, I'm gonna shit my pants because
This
that's gonna be
isn't even
ridiculous.
addressing their defense, which is Jacob Slavin, Brent Burns, Dmitry Orlov, Brett Pesce, Brady Shea, and Jalen Chatfield with Freddie Anderson and net. Oh my God, that is stupid. Which means
And they brought back
why
all
are
their
the
goalies as well.
Hurricanes? This is my question to you and the general audience. Who do the Canes lose to in the first round after they win the President's Trophy?
All right, let's look at the East quickly.
Let me pencil it in. Let me find the
Sabres.
team. It's either
Sabres.
going to be the Sabres
Sabres.
or the Washington
Or the Sens.
Capitals.
No,
Dude,
the Caps are good.
oh my
No.
God, no. I swear to God. I'm
The
like, all
Caps
right,
need
they have
to
the best
sign a
team on
few more,
paper.
like get a bunch more depth in signing.
They have the best team on
The
paper, so
Caps need
they're
to
going
get a
to
bunch
lose
more
to the
depth
most.
sign. No, it's gonna be the Sabres or the Sens.
I don't know if the Sens make it. I don't know. I'm not big on them
They
because
might.
DeBrinket
Let
doesn't
me
want to
see. I
play
want
there
to check something.
anymore.
Who did they sign? I
I
think
don't
they
think
can
really
make it
anyone.
work. Let me see who Ottawa brought in. They brought in Eunice Corpusalo, and I think
Mm.
that's Eric Brandstrom.
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't.
know.
I like both those moves. At
I
least
like
if
them.
nothing else, Corpusalo is going to be an upgrade to Talbot.
I just think they need more.
They signed him for 5 years. Wait, hold up.
Wait, Tarasenko got 5 years?
No.
Who
Corpusalo
did?
got 5 years.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Tarasenko. Yeah, he got 5 years at 4 million.
Never mind. That deal becomes
Yay,
oh
divisional rivals
God.
giving out dog shit contracts. Thank you. For all
Ooh.
my wrestling fans out there, as Chad Gable would say, oh, thank you. Anyway.
I'm doing. I'm going to cat friendly very quickly. Um,
This
I need to
episode
see this.
of the Pond Hockey Podcast is not sponsored by CapFriendly.com. CapFriendly.com, where you go for all of your hockey news to yell at your favorite players for making too much money.
Wait.
What?
Oh no, he went to the Kings. Never mind.
Oh, Talbot? Were you talking about Talbot?
Nah, he's with the yeah. So it's ironic. They kind of just do a sends.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: Corpus was 29, 5-year deal. I mean, you are banking on him long term, and he's kind of an inconsistent guy.
Yeah.
But to me, with how the Sens are built, I'd say that's not a bad deal. He's good when the team's playing at least solid. When the team is struggling defensively, he's not playing good.
No, like it. Ugh. I don't like it.
It's one of those
I
weird
don't think the
things.
Sens are close. Like, I don't think Detroit's close, and I don't think the Sens are close either.
I can believe the Sens are close because like how they played last year, and they got very injured towards the end of the year.
You need their young guys to step up, and like to me, it's very hard to tell for me because like I'm not that big on them because everyone's like it's the Sens, it's the Sens, it's the Sens, but it is incredibly difficult to make like a 30-point jump, which is what the Sens needed to do last year. Like, let me look at the standings again because like I think I'm missing something because
They finished with 86 points.
yeah,
So they were
and
behind the Penguins and the Sabres.
like I think they can do it. I just don't know. Because I think they're going to stay relatively the same, especially if they lose Alex DeBrincat.
Yeah, we'll see if they keep him. We'll definitely have to keep that. But you know what I think's gonna happen?
What do you
I think
think's
they
going to
make it
happen?
as the 8th seed. Because you know what? I'm gonna make a bold prediction. And two teams are gonna I'd say three teams that are in there right now are gonna not make it next year. I'm saying the Lightning miss.
Oh, what?
I think they took giant steps backwards this year. They made
Oh
their team a lot older.
my God.
They made their team a lot older. Think about all the signings they did. Josh Archibald, Luke Glendening, Connor Sherry for 3 years.
Oh.
Connor Sherry for 3 years.
Two
What?
words. Two words. Two words. Andre Vasilevsky. Next question.
Yeah, but he's gonna have to pull a Yusei Saros type deal and basically bail this team out. Especially
He's
since
done
their
it
older players are getting
before.
older, and like you saw, Edmund's starting to struggle a little bit
Yeah.
defensively.
Yeah.
Stamkos is starting to get older. And mind
Oh,
you,
that would not
they
have
have
been.
Tanner Janot
Yeah, it's pretty
for
bad.
that, for the amount of stupid juice they drank. They gave up 5 picks. And I think who was the other guy? Cal Foot
Yeah.
for him. What?
Oh
Like, how stupid
my.
are you? I know they only lost Ian Cole and Alex Killorn to free agency. I'm not convinced. They played like crap, and you can't deny this. For the last 3 months of the season, they played like trash
Yeah, I
and then played
agree.
like trash in the playoffs. That to me is a sign that a dynasty is starting to end. When you fall apart after starting the season off right, that's exactly the to another team that just blew it up, the Jets. That is the
Yeah.
same way they played.
Oh man. I don't
I'm not
know.
convinced. So I think they're one. I think the Panthers are going to have a cup hangover.
Potentially because they're injured to hell.
Yes. And I say the Rangers.
What?
Yes.
You think the Rangers are missing the playoffs?
I think they're going to have probably the most underwhelming season in hockey, barring the young players stepping up for them. Their defense is still all over the place. You cannot tell me this is true. Like the only players I trust on their defense is Adam Fox and Keandre Miller. That's it.
Okay, I might give it to you on the defense, but like I just want to give you the rundown of what you said. You think the best goalie in the world in Andre Vasilevsky isn't making the playoffs, and you think the second best goalie in the league in Igor Shesterkin isn't making the playoffs either.
Having a good goalie is huge, but look at how Saros has played. He's made the playoffs once in the last 3 seasons.
Yeah, but the Preds haven't been any good. The other two teams you just said have made the Eastern Conference Finals in the last 2 years.
And well, they both have also taken giant steps backwards. That's 2 years ago. They've taken giant steps backwards this year and have a lot of young players who aren't developing for them.
I don't
Given with
think the
their older
Lightning's
core,
decline. I don't think the Lightning's decline happens at
the
least for
Rangers is
another
probably the
2 years.
wildest one. The Rangers is probably the
All
wildest
right,
one.
here's my question regarding the Rangers thing. Do the
Yeah.
Islanders make the playoffs?
Yes.
Dude, no shot. No, no.
The difference, I know the difference was a little bit bigger. I don't know. I'm not convinced the Islanders are going to be worse than the Rangers. I probably am going to eat a lot of crap for that.
The Islanders shouldn't have even made the playoffs last year.
Maybe not. But I think they have a really solid team. They just need the offense to start stepping up a little bit.
Like, let me read you the Rangers and the Islanders forward core. This is just their forward core. And this isn't in lines, this is just talent.
Mm-hmm.
So the Rangers, Artemi Panarin, Mika Zibanejad, Chris Kreider, Vinny Trocheck, Philip Hedel, who's Barclay Goodrow, Capo Caco, Blake Wheeler, who's at 800K, Nick Bonino, Jimmy Vesey, Tyler Pitlick, Alex Belzil, and Alexi Lafreniere, who's an RFA. So that's the Rangers forward core.
Mm-hmm.
The Islanders forward core, Matthew Barzal, Bo Horvat, Anders Lee, Brock Nelson, JG Pajot, Kyle Palmieri, Pierre Engvall, who they signed to fucking 7 years at $3 million each. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Casey
I saw that was
Cizikas,
funny.
Cal Clutterbuck, Matt Martin, Ross Johnston, Simone Holmstrom, and Hudson Fashing. Oy vey.
Here's the thing, and this is gonna sound really stupid. And like I said, this is gonna be unpopular. You look at the Rangers, all right, and I'll give it to them. Their top end talent is way better than the Islanders. I genuinely think they have a lot worse depth than the Islanders. Once you get past Kreider, Zibanejad, and Panarin, their talent drops like a rock. I mean, I guess
So
they do.
does
Actually,
the
that's not true. They
Islanders,
do have
though.
Philip Scheidel. But like, even like, think about this. Engvall almost had a 20-goal season last year. Brock Nelson played pretty solid for them. I mean, you still got a guy in Bo Horvat who I think is very talented
Bo
and
Horvat is
probably one of the more
talented.
underrated players.
He just
You
didn't
had a
play
guy
good
who's
in...
performed as well as he has in Kyle Palmieri, who's had a down year or two with
Yeah.
the Islanders. I like the overall look of how the Islanders team shapes, even if their goal scoring is a problem on their team.
I just want to bring something up. There's just one player. Did you just sing praise to Pierre Engvall?
Yes.
I have watched that man play for 5 seasons. No.
7-year deal. No.
God
But a guy
damn.
who I think is really productive for them on a second or third line role, absolutely. Especially with how the Islanders play. You know that. He works well with how the Islanders play. It doesn't work with you guys because you guys rely on a lot of scoring, high octane offense, and a lot of big passing. He wasn't that.
Dude, to give you
He
an
was just big and
idea,
fast.
these are his seasons in the NHL. Pierre Engvall, first season, 48 games, 8 goals, 7 assists, 15 points. Second season, 42 games, 7 goals, 5 assists, 12 points. Third season, 78 games, 15 goals, 20 assists, 35 points. Decent. Fourth season, 12 goals, 9 assists, 21 points with the Leafs, and 5 goals, 4 assists, 9 points. He has 92 points in 244 games. Like, ugh.
Yeah, but the last 2 seasons showed he's gotten a lot better in a very short amount of time as well.
I just don't think he's what the Islanders need because my main problem with them is that they cannot score goals.
No, once you get past, I think the big goal scorers are Brock Nelson and Barzal, and after that, it kind of
Because like
drops.
Bo Horvat had a significant decline in New York, and that is very concerning to me.
I want to give it a whole season before I grade it because I'm not.
Me too. I'm
I think a
just
lot of
like,
it came from discontent from what happened with Vancouver.
yeah, I'm just like with how the Islanders matched up against the Canes, even. I
Yeah,
think the Islanders were the worst team in the playoffs, including Winnipeg.
really.
I just don't think the Islanders had that great of talent. I think it was purely Sorokin.
I could understand
I
that.
think if Sorokin stands on his head, they make the playoffs. But like my four coming out of the Metro, and like it's really hard because there's so many good teams. My four in this order: Canes at one, Devils at two, Rangers probably at three, Penguins at four, and maybe the Islanders sneaking at five. I think the Metro gets five teams in there this year.
I'm gonna make a bold call. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do say Canes one. I'm gonna say Devils two for right now, unless they do
Mm-hmm.
something stupid. I just saw the extended team on Meyer, which helps as well.
Oh, they did.
I'm gonna say Pens three and Islanders are four.
How much is the team? Emo Meyer contract.
A lot.
Holy
There's a lot.
shit.
It was a big contract, but you cannot let him lose. You cannot lose him for free
Whoa.
agency. Not with how much they give up. You can't let him walk. They had no choice with
Oh
how much
my
they gave
God. They
up.
gave him a full no move.
Oh, really? I didn't know that bit.
Oh God. So he gets what? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. He gets an 8-year deal, 8.8 mil. He's the highest paid player on the Devils.
Even more than Hughes.
No shot.
Even more than Jack Hughes. Actually,
He's the
I'm gonna
highest
change
paid
my opinion.
forward on the Devils.
I'm gonna change my opinion now from that hearing that deal. I didn't know it was that bad. All right, I'm saying Pens two, Devils three,
I
Islanders
don't.
four.
Let me look up Timo Meyer really quick before I like
He was
say what I think I
trash with the
want to say.
Devils,
Before I
but
say what I think I
bad
want to
with them.
say, I need to look up his career stats. 472 games, 330 points. I mean,
Very good player.
last two seasons, 35 goals and 40 goals. I mean, I can see it.
Only ish. I mean, I guess he had
Maybe.
14. But here's the thing. I look at his stats as well. With San Jose, he had 52 points, 57 games this last season, 31 goals, 21 assists. He goes over to the Devils in 21 games. He puts up 9 goals and 5 assists.
Oh man, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Devils three, and then Islanders four. So, and
I
then for
just
the Atlantic, I'm gonna say you're gonna hate me for this. Leafs one,
don't you fucking
Leafs
dare.
one,
No.
Leafs one. Um, and then I'm gonna get this is where the stupidity is gonna ride out. All right. Oh God, I forgot how. God, the Atlantic I think is gonna be really bad next
Put
year.
the Leafs
Actually,
at one.
I'm gonna put the
Fuck.
Leafs one. I'm gonna say, oh God,
All right, because I know how this works.
Sabers two,
No.
Bruins
Oh.
three, Sens four.
Oh
Yes, ladies and
my
gentlemen,
God.
this is gonna be the biggest five-head player. I'm gonna be completely
Oh.
wrong.
Oh my God. You put the Sabres in it too.
Yes.
Oh my God. All right.
Once again,
So I
Lightning
think
had. All
there's going
right,
to be a team that is a big fuck you to the Leafs and wins the division because the Leafs can never have anything nice. They will finish second in the division again.
if you say the
I
Lightning, I
got
will go wild on you.
I got Boston at
No,
one because fuck my life.
okay.
Leafs at two. Oh, Tampa three. And then
No
maybe I
shot.
think Buffalo sneaks in at four if they make a
No
wild card.
shot. You think Tampa is three?
I think Tampa's 3. I do. I can't count out Vasilevsky. I
Oh,
can't.
they got worse this last year. They were already bad the last year. I mean, I get
I
it because you don't want to do that because it was the one team you beat, and B, they're just a tough team all around and have the cups and all this stuff to prove
like
it.
I
It's
just
just,
don't think Tampa's done yet. I don't.
I think it's just starting to feel like it's going to be a decline. I feel like they're going to go through a season like Pittsburgh did last year.
So do I, but I still don't think they're bad enough to miss the playoffs. I
Maybe
think they're still a
I
good
think it's
enough
because
team
I'm
to
high
finish
on the
third.
Sens right now, so I'm willing to
I'm
bank
not,
on
man.
the Sabres and the Sens
If they
being
get rid
better
of
than the
DeBrinket,
Lightning.
if they get rid of DeBrinket, no question they're missing.
If that okay, I'll agree with you. If they lose the Brinket, I say they miss out, and then I say Florida probably sneaks in.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced the Lightning. I'm really not, which is wild. And then I guess while we're doing this, I guess let's look at the West moves quickly and see. I guess
Oh,
biggest
oh
winners
God.
and losers. I can start with
Here's
biggest one of the bigger losers, which I can laugh at hysterically. The Canucks. Ha ha ha. Ha ha.
the Canucks. Oh my God.
Bro, for reference, you want to know who they signed? Ian Cole, Teddy Bluger, for 3 years.
Teddy Bluger went to Vancouver. No.
Yeah, so Vancouver is one of the biggest losers because they needed a lot of fixes and they needed to trade JT Miller, neither of
Yep.
which have happened. Second biggest loser, and this is gonna shock, I think you. Well, it might not. It's Vegas. They've signed no one,
Vegas needed to
and they
shed
traded Riley Smith.
salary. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're a loser yet because they needed to shred some salary on them. Like,
I mean, I guess,
I don't know. They still have a lot of
but my
star
problem is,
players.
my issue is this though. They drop like Teddy Bluger leaving, whatever, quick,
Yeah,
like, all the players for SWAT, like whatever. Then they trade Riley Smith because I guess he's eating too much cap. Yet they give Aiden Hill a 2 year extension
for too much money.
for 10 mil, basically 10 mil. What?
Yeah, they gave it 4.9 million for 2 years.
I mean, oh, I guess that's not true. They did do one thing I think was a really good move, which
What do
was
you think that was?
keeping Barbashev.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They kept him on 5x5, which I think was
That's
a
why
very
they
good
got rid
decision.
of that's
I
why they
guess
got
that's
rid of
why. I
Riley
guess they
Smith.
could look out. I guess they looked at Riley Smith as like I guess depth goods, like luxury goods. But
I
that feels
still
so
like
weird to
their
trade a player
team.
as well as he is with that. I still like their team as well, but I feel like they kind of took a hit through paying the
Yeah.
cup tax.
Yeah, and cup teams always do. I still really they still have most of their guys there. I still like their team a lot.
I do. I just feel like it's kind of just weird for me. Like trading
Yeah.
a good guy and then re-signing a goalie in which you still have Laner, which you really can't trade. You bring back you still have Logan Thompson. Where the hell is Aiden Hill going to slide in? Is he going to be second? Is he going to be first? What are you doing with Laner?
I think Laner might be done.
I don't think he is. I think he's still got another year or two. So
Yeah, but he's still in the LTIR.
yeah, we'll see. But
He-
yeah, no,
he's a big help to Vegas's cap circumvention, so
I do agree with the Ducks being bad,
the Ducks are
like a
pretty bad.
terrible one. Uh,
I know who I have the biggest winner on just because of the sheer value of the contract they
yeah, give me the
got.
winners.
I think it's Matt. I think Dallas was a pretty big winner by getting Matt Duchene.
Yeah, I can
Matt
100%
Duchene
agree with
for
you on
one
that.
year, 3 mil. That's pretty damn good. Like
Yeah, I could see that.
to me, they're a pretty big winner. Um, the West didn't really have like a ton of like big splash moves. It was kind
No,
of weird.
well, one team did, which I put them as one of the bigger winners because I actually kind of liked how they handled the offseason.
Who do you think's the other big winner?
Nashville.
Yeah,
I
I
like the
agree with
O'Reilly
that.
sign. They
I
brought in
like.
Gustav Nyquist. They gave 3 years to Luke Shen, which I think is going to be a big help for them.
Yeah,
Even kind of taking a risk with a guy like Cody Glass, I think is a good decision.
I think they're in good shape,
I mean,
relatively good shape.
and they
I
brought in a
think,
cup winner in William Carrier.
and they have a bunch of draft picks.
Yeah, think
Yeah.
about it. They got so much benefit for trading a guy in Tanner Janelle. They got 5 draft picks and Cal Floyd, who I think is decent
And they have
for them as
that
well.
first round pick in 2025 from Tampa, that second round pick from Tampa,
I
another
think
second round pick
Nashville
from
could have a
Winnipeg.
massive bounce back year.
I think they can too. I'm not sure if they're ready for the playoffs yet. I think they're close. They're definitely
Well, I think
close.
the West is a lot weaker, so I'm willing to
I think they slot in
buy.
around the seventh seed or third in the division. I think that's around where they are,
I could agree with
which
that. Yeah,
isn't
I definitely
bad.
could because it's gonna ironically go with my next biggest loser, the Wild.
Yeah, for whatever
They're gonna.
reason, the Wild are like always super quiet around this time of year.
Well, unfortunately, they're kind of screwed right now.
I was gonna say to be fair, they can't really afford a whole lot of
Yeah,
guys.
let's and for reference, people, the reason things are as bad as they are is because way
Fourteen
back
point
when
seven million
they
dollars in
signed
buyout.
they signed 2 contracts. So the reason why NHL contracts are probably so different nowadays is because of these two.
Yep.
And Zach Parise, who is now with the Islanders, and now he's a UFA there, and Ryan Suter, who is still with the Stars. And they are paying those two a combined, which you just said, 14.7 million to not play for them.
Granted, it gets
And
better in 2025, but still
yeah, for the next 2 seasons, they have to eat 7 million. 7 million for
7 million
each.
each.
And after that, they can manage it because it's only like a million or like a million and a half or something like that. It's like
1.6.
1.6 million. But for
Yeah.
this season and next season, they're strapped with 14 million that they can't use.
Boy.
Which, for reference, their entire defense right now is making 19.2 million.
Damn.
And they have to find a way to keep Philip Gustafson.
Oh, well, they have 7 mil in cap space right now, so they can probably do it for the right price.
But after this next season, Zuccarello and Felino are both
I know. I know.
UFAs.
They're in trouble
Good
next
thing they
year.
have bold. The good thing they have. The one thing I'll give them credit to, they kept Frederick Gaudreau, Joel Eriksson, and Matt Boley long term, and Kaprizov. So they
I think that's
made the moves right before things got wrong. And Spurgeon. I mean, they kept a lot of their good players long term already, so that's the good sign that they could still be fine. But they're definitely going to take a hit if they lose a guy like Gustafson if they can't keep him around, and at a deal that's not going to destroy their cap. It's just going to be. And then for some reason they said yes, let's take Pat Maroon.
so I'm keeping an eye on this
The Tarasenko one.
on Eric Carlson.
Oh God, please don't be
Eric
Seattle.
Carlson trade talks are intensifying. Pittsburgh
Just
Penguins are the favorite.
thank God. Just not Seattle. Oh God, Pittsburgh's gonna. Oh no.
Pittsburgh wants him. I don't know what they're gonna trade for him.
Let's say no.
I don't not Letang.
Imagine,
Like who?
imagine
Oh
how
God,
loud that would be.
who are they getting rid of?
Oh God, you know what I think it might be if it is Pittsburgh.
Is it
By
Gensel?
Gensel. By Gensel.
Oh God,
Oh,
no!
oh,
Shit, they want to get rid of. Oh my,
they might not
he
have a
does have
choice. Is
one
the
year
issue?
left.
They might not have a choice. I
You
saw that.
guys
I was
want
like,
to
yeah,
take
I think
Jeff
Gensel.
Carter too?
Dude, nobody
Jeff
wants
Carter's
Jeff Carter.
undoubtedly going back the other way, but I think they might need to do Gensel to sweeten it. Oh shit.
Oh
That is
God,
going to
Pittsburgh.
be
No.
unpopular.
Here comes the one bad Dubas trade a year.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I don't know if I
And
do
that's the
that.
thing I will always say. With Dubas, he did a lot of good moves, but then he'll always have one bad move. It's like
Signing
which is really
Tavares
bad.
or trading Rasmus Sandin or We
or
can and
trading
we
Nazem
will.
Kadri
Or Nazem Kadri for Alex Kerfoot.
or
Letting
Jared
Justin
McCann.
Hall staying there. Jared McCann. Fuck.
But Alex Kerfoot.
God. So, do you want to hit
But I
the
guess
draft steals last? Potentially?
yeah, I
Like,
think with we already did a prediction on the yeah, no, we'll definitely do draft steals last, but I definitely want to hit I think
let's do our
I'll do season
West.
prediction for right now,
Oh, God.
in
All right.
which the West I feel is gonna be a lot harder because in pretty much every case the bad teams pretty much stayed bad.
To me, I think the Central
There's
is pretty
really
cut and
only
dry.
the Central's cut and dry. The only thing I'm gonna say I think Stars are one, Avs are
Yeah.
two. I'm high on the Preds. I think they're gonna be three.
I can see that. Yeah. I
I think
think
the
they get a
Wild are
split
gonna
of
be
four
hurting
and
a little bit this
four.
season.
I think they get a
And
four
I
and
think the
four split.
Wild walk in. The
Yep.
only way the Wild miss is if the Blues stand on their head and make it.
I don't think the Blues are
Blues are the only
quite there
team
yet.
that are hard. The Blues
Yeah.
are the only team that missed the playoffs last year that I genuinely have confidence in that could make it. And a
I
lot of
could see it
things would
going
need to
either
go
way.
right this season.
Yeah. I could see
Yeah.
them going either way.
I like Craig Berube, so I like what he does as a coach. So I think he could
Yeah.
motivate him. Because they did play, I think, a decent bit better towards the end of the season.
Yeah, they did. I
After
mean,
that trade deadline, mind you.
to me, the Central looks like,
They still have talent.
yeah. Like, I think Dallas slots at one. I think Colorado's a close second. I see Nashville
Those two are gonna be
sliding
close.
in at three and Minnesota getting a wild card spot.
The only way Nashville misses is if everything goes wrong.
Yeah. Like Minnesota is like
That's
a
the only way.
barely makes it for me because I could see another
I think they're
Pacific
gonna have
team
another
coming in and
Florida type
stealing it.
season. Yeah, I mean, really? I think the Pacific sucks. And I'll say this. I think Vegas is one, and I don't even
Yeah.
think there's a question of it. Actually, I'm gonna do a double take on that. I think Oilers sneak it at one. By the end of the season, they take it at the end. Vegas falls at two. Seattle, I think, as long as they don't do anything stupid or Grubauer doesn't turn to a tire fire this season, I'm praying that does not happen. Don't let me clip this into a TikTok. I'll kill
Oh
myself.
dear.
And honestly, I'm really not sold on the Kings this year. I'm really not.
So for me, I have Edmonton at one, Vegas at two, Seattle at three, and LA at four.
I mean, I think LA's four, but I don't know if they're the
Yeah.
last spot.
I think they're the seventh seed over whoever the Central Division is. I think they're seven over Minnesota.
Actually, I'm gonna go ballsy. So I'm gonna make another ballsy take. Not gonna
Oh boy.
lie.
Oh boy. Here we go.
I think
Here we
we're
go.
only gonna get. I think we're only gonna get three teams from the Pacific. I think the Kings end up being the outside looking in, despite having a solid season. I think the
Maybe
Wild
depending
finished
on
seventh.
goaltending.
I think the Wild finished seventh. I think the Blues finish eighth and sneak in like
Ooh.
2 points in, like 1 or 2 points in. Because like I'm looking at the rest of the Pacific. The Flames are a mess.
Yeah, they are.
The Canucks are probably one of the biggest train wrecks right now in the league. The Sharks suck and have albatrosses, and they're going to trade Carlson and probably Logan Couture if they can. And their team is bad. And the Ducks are directionless. And then you go to the
Yeah.
Central, and the Jets are going to be garbage this year. They're going to be garbage. They're going to be horrible. The Coyotes are a joke in every facet. And the Blackhawks still stink.
I think it'd
They
be
brought in
funny as
one free
shit
agent.
if the Blackhawks made the playoffs because fuck everything.
Oh my god! If Connor Bedard just puts up like a 200-point season,
Connor Bedard gets like
I'm just gonna
102 points and just carries them.
he puts up 100 points and they sneak in as the 8 seed. I'll just throw my
Yep.
with Peter Mrazek putting up an 870 season or something like that.
Oh,
Because
God.
mind you, Chicago signed one free agent, and it was Ryan Donato,
Yeah.
and it was to a 1 year deal. That's all they signed.
Yeah. I don't think Chicago's making it, but they could,
No,
but I don't think they are.
no, they would have to do an Oilers type thing where Bedard stood on his head and they pulled two or three
Yeah.
guys. Andreas Athanasiou, you want to put up a career year? That
Come
would
on.
be good
Everyone
for
puts up a
them.
career year.
But yeah, I think 5 teams from the Central make it. I think the Kings definitely regret, especially because now Talbot's their goalie. Talbot's their goalie.
Yeah.
Think about that for a
That's
second. Unless
that's not ideal.
I'm curious about something. Yeah, their two
Phoenix
goalies right
Copley,
now are
baby.
Phoenix Copley.
Yikes.
It's Phoenix
And Big Save
Copley,
Dave.
Cam Talbot.
And Big
No
Save Dave.
shot. He's not with them, is he?
Big Save Dave. Don't forget my boy Big Save Dave. Big Siv Dave.
You mean dog crap Dave?
Dog shit Dave.
Oh my
Big shit
god, Dave
Dave.
Riddick, Phoenix Copley, and Cam Talbot. Yeah,
Yep.
this is further proving my point. I'm not convinced with the Kings.
Fuck. Yeah, I don't see
Mind you, they
them beating
also
the
traded,
Oilers.
who was it, Sean Dursey?
Yeah, to Arizona, which was a yikes.
For what? Like, I guess they brought in Gavrikov, but like, is that an upgrade? I really don't
No.
think it is.
No. It very isn't.
They're already a team that I think has enough offensive issues at times.
Yeah, I think the Kings might be
Oh yeah, and
fucked
they
on the
lost Gabriel
goaltending.
Velarde.
Oh yeah, because they traded him away for PLD.
Pierre and Alex Iafallo for PLD. This is further proving my point. I'm not convinced.
Shit. Yeah, they might be
I
fucked.
think
I
5 teams might make it from the Pacific.
I remember saying that the Kings were gonna win the cup a couple episodes ago. Scratched that completely off the fucking board. I'm
really
going back. I'm going back in editing it out. Fuck you. Fuck that.
No,
I'm
you're
not
not.
doing it. Yes, I am. Fuck that. Nope, doing it. I'm editing that shit out. Fuck that. Fuck that.
It
No
is too
evidence. No
late.
proof.
We
No
have the
proof. No evidence.
evidence.
Nope.
We have
No
the
proof. No evidence. Nope. Nope. Nope.
No, but it's just like it's so tough for me because the East is like a lot harder to predict. You know, the Lightning could get in, the Sabres and Sens could get in. If the Red Wings have everything go right, they could get in. The Caps even have a chance, probably. The Pens have a chance. You know, the only team that I think are not playoff caliber are the Flyers, Blue Jackets, and Canadians. That's it. Whereas you look at the West, I mean, there could be an argument for the Flames, but their team was really not that good this year. And I'm curious. Let me check one thing. I'm just scrolling quickly. Calgary, 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 Calgary. They signed one guy. Or two guys. Tucker Pullman and Jordan Osterley.
Oh,
That's
yes, they
it.
did nothing. So they did nothing.
And the joke is usually Brad Treliving is a passive GM.
And he wasn't passive this offseason. Hell
No,
yeah.
they actually made some decent moves, save for the Ryan
Now
Reeves long-term
extend
extension.
Austin. God damn it.
So, like, and that's my problem here is like the East is like a lot harder to predict. There's a lot more room for teams to disappoint, whereas the West, you have maybe half of the West that are genuinely can make the playoffs. The other half suck. Like there is 2 teams here that genuinely look like they could be that would be like decent and might have playoff aspirations. That's the Flames, who I'm not convinced.
Neither am I.
Unless Jacob Markstrom has a bounce back season. And the Blues, which another case of
Maybe
bad goalies killed them. So it's just tough for me to gauge the West because the West is I guess it is worse, a lot worse than the East, but it's more top heavy.
For sure, the West is top heavy. The East is kind of all over the place. The West is just top heavy.
You had a bunch of teams with 90 points last season, and then looking at the West, all but one team had over 100 points. Even Seattle had 100 points.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it's gonna go. I think the East is a lot more harder to predict than the West is.
The West is really cut and dry. And barring something stupid, watch Arizona just fuck around and make the two-seater somehow. Just something stupid. Anaheim wins like 40 games or something like that. Just something stupid. Just something that not no one would predict, barring a stupid drunk bet you make with friends.
God, I'm still looking at these Penguins rumors, and there's like
Really?
nothing on who they're getting. I don't know. But in terms of like the draft, we kind of covered the Bedard thing. So I think there's really only one sort of thing to cover. We can say something good about the Flyers, eh?
Yeah. Matvey Michkov.
Finally. I have not said that in a long time.
There is one I
But
want to cover because there was a guy I think I liked a lot from the draft.
ooh,
But
okay. Who'd
cool.
you like?
Um, I thought he was going to go top 10. His name was Zach Benson.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to end up with like the Red Wings or like even the Caps. The Sabres got him.
Yeah, that was a pretty good steal. I
And I was
like
like,
that.
wow. Like they like
I'm
I thought the Red
shocked
Wings were going
at.
to take him 100%.
So did I. I thought the Caps were going to take him. I was shocked that they didn't. The Caps might have been rattled a little
Yeah, I was
bit
so
by
depressed when I saw
who the Flyers
Michkov.
picked. But like, no,
Yeah.
like to me, the Flyers got like far and away the best steal in the draft. I don't know why Montreal picked David Reinbacher. Like, not a
Well,
bad pick, but I don't necessarily think he's better than Michkov. Like, to me, I think the Michkov deal is far and away the best deal of the draft. And like, I get he's not going to play in the NHL for 2 or 3 more seasons, but that kind of fits the Flyers timeline. I would continue to be not a great team for 2 or 3 more years and then get as many good players in the draft as you can. And when you're about to get ready to break in, here's Michkov.
yeah. Especially because with the Flyers right now, there's no real like rush
No,
to like have to be good. And
unless
mind you,
Comcast wants revenue. But other than that,
because they're making like all the right moves. Provorov got traded. They got out of the Kevin Hayes contract, which I think probably might be their biggest win yet.
oh, yeah,
They brought in some guys who were going to be placeholders, Mark Stahl and Garnet Hathaway and Ryan Poling. No one's going to be, great for them, but like
no.
guys who are going to help them. And who knows if Garnet Hathaway can play solid? He got traded last year. If he could trade
Garnet
again, get some
Hathaway is a
value.
solid flyer. I like that fit.
Yeah. I mean, I like what they're doing. They didn't really do anything stupid,
I
which
don't think they
usually,
really have done anything wrong this offseason. I think they've had a pretty solid offseason. Best offseason they've had in a
oh yeah,
long
and they also
time.
got JVR. His
They
contract
got rid of
finally.
him.
LOL Boston.
Tony
Why I say
D'Angelo
that?
is also going to be gone to Carolina as well. Jesus fucking Christ.
See, really?
Yeah, they have to wait until July 7th for the deal to go through, but
He's going
it's
back
going
to
through.
Carolina.
Yeah, he is.
Makes sense. He was
Yeah,
playing his best and was
decent
happiest
fit.
there.
Yeah, decent fit. But like there was so much stuff that happened this week. Like if we missed anything, like I genuinely I don't know how we could have covered it without like a whole extra team. Like there's a lot of stuff.
You know what? I want to do one other thing before we wrap up this episode.
What you want to do?
Pick the top 5 worst teams in the NHL this next season.
Okay, well the worst one's an easy one for me.
I got
Are we
one.
doing 5 at worst and one like the best of the 5?
Yeah, I'll do 5-1. You could do it however you want.
All right, you start first.
I think 5 is going to be. I think the Habs just missed out on being number 5
Yeah,
because the reason things went so bad for them is because They barely had enough bodies to be on the ice.
That's true.
And I think they have a lot more exciting young talents than a lot of other teams. So
Yeah.
I'm willing to be higher on them. Getting number 5, I think it's gonna crack in with the Yotes.
Yeah, the Yotes 5. Mine
I
matches.
think they have some stuff there, but they're probably gonna trade
Much.
Keller, and that's gonna hurt them more.
Yeah. They don't got much there. Some, but not much.
Number 4, I'm gonna say Ducks. I'm just
Agreed.
not convinced the Ducks are gonna be as bad as they were this year, but
I
they're gonna
agree.
still be bad. Like they had the worst record in the
Yeah.
league.
Yeah.
Like it
I
can
think
only go up.
I think 5 and 4 match. Coyotes are ass with no way up, and the Ducks have some bright future, but it's still looking kind of iffy.
Number 3, and I'm probably this might be the boldest one. I'm probably gonna eat a lot of crap from this. Jets.
I agree with that
They're gonna
actually.
suck.
I
They're
don't think
going
they're
to
going to be as
suck.
good.
No, they're
Yeah, I
going
don't
to
think they're going to be as
suck. They're going to be
good.
a lottery pick this year. They're terrible. Like
I wouldn't
unless
be
Halibut
surprised.
stays.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'd bump the Jets to probably like one of the 5. I'd probably put them up at 1 and probably slot 2 more teams in between them.
If they keep Halibut, I'll say they probably avoid it. But I think they're going
Yeah.
to trade him. They're going to have no goalie. They already have a bad defense, and they're
Yeah.
going to trade away more. They're going to be horrible this year. If Halibut plays a game for them, that changes instantly. But I think he's
Yeah.
gone. So with him gone, they're going to get shelled. So they're going to be number 3 for me. Number 2, I'm saying Blue Jackets.
Agree.
They've taken so many steps backwards in my head with how they've handled the offseason, their coach signing. Literally everything they could have done right, they did wrong. They let Gavin Baby through walk. They brought in terrible defensemen and then extended said 2 terrible defensemen long term. And they have a coach who has had discontent with a lot of players.
But come on, he's taking a new approach. Yeah, I'll believe that when I see it.
What's a concussion?
He clearly doesn't believe in one.
And then number 1, you ready to do it? Drum roll, please. This is Sharks.
Yeah, Sharks.
I mean,
Especially if they get rid of Carlson. Sharks.
poor Anthony Duclair. He deserves so much better. He deserves so much better than this.
Yeah, he does.
He's gonna
Oh
be
my.
so bad. For reference, their goalies are Capo Kakinen
Yeah, you know.
and Blackwood.
Fuck. That is
Those are their
pretty damn
goalie.
bad. That's pretty bad.
The only offensive talent they have on their team. He's like Couture, Barabanov, and Hurdle.
Yikes.
That's it. Or last year they had Luke Cunnin playing on a first line. Luke Cunnin
Oh my god.
on the wing.
That's pretty bad. Not an expert, but that's pretty bad.
That's called embarrassing.
That's
Like,
called dog shit.
yeah, that's called dog shit. And mind
That's
you,
called terrible.
a certain Mark Edward Vlasic is still there.
The pickle's still there? Fuck. Damn.
So, yeah,
How old is he?
a 36.
He's oh god, I thought he was older than that.
Could I do a search on something?
Sure.
Sharks. Okay.
Damn, that guy looks like he's freaking 43.
They always oh my god.
What?
Oh my god.
What?
Mark Edward Vlasic has 3 years left at 7 million.
No, he does not. No, he doesn't.
He's getting played till 39.
No, he doesn't.
Until 2026, bro.
No, he doesn't.
He
I don't
does.
believe this shit.
Look it
I
up.
don't believe this
Look it
shit.
up. Look
Oh
it up.
my god.
Oh my god.
He's getting
That
paid
is
7 million for
so
the next three
bad.
years. For the next three, oh, and he has a modified no trade call. Oh my fucking
Are you
god.
kidding? I didn't even see that. Oh no.
Damn.
Oh, and that's why they haven't traded Couture or Hurdle. They both have no move and no trade clauses.
Oh, well, that's
Wait, Hurdle's a
wonderful.
no move clause. Yeah,
They're
no, they're gonna be the worst team in hockey this year.
fucked.
I'm convinced.
No, no, no. The Coyotes are. Coyotes are. I stand by
No,
the Coyotes.
no, the Yotes at least
The Coyotes
have
don't have
some
any
players.
players. Who's
They
their
brought
best
in some
player?
players
Jason
this year.
Zucker.
They brought in Jason Zucker. They brought in Alex Kerfoot. They brought back Nick Butstret. Troy Stechen
I
wasn't terrible.
know. I
Clayton Keller's
know
there.
that if you are saying Alex fucking Kerfoot is one of their best players, they
No, no,
are
no.
dog shit.
They still
No
have Keller.
way.
They still have Keller and Schmaltz and Lawson Krauts.
Oh my god.
Like it could be worse. Like I just don't think they're the worst team in the league.
Oh
But the
my
Sharks,
god.
like genuinely, I look at this team, like look at their forwards. Thomas Hurdle, Logan Couture, Kevin LeBanc, who was terrible, Duclair, who's not going to fit well with them, Barabanov, who's okay, Lindbaum, who spends more time on the injured list, Nico Sturm, Fabian Zetterlund, William Eklund, Giovanni Smith,
Fabian
Jacob.
Fabian
Yes,
Zutterland sounds like a made up fucking name.
yes.
It
And
sounds like
mind
a
you,
creative player in
bro,
NHL.
they're top six because Carlson's going to get traded. Edward Vlasic, Mario Ferraro, Radim Simic, Matt Benning, Nikolai, his sneeze off, and Kyle Burrows. And their goalies are
Shit.
Blackwood and Capo Kakkonen. Tell me, truthfully, look me in the eyes. Look at that team and
Shit.
tell me they're not the worst team in hockey.
I think they are the second worst behind the Coyotes because I think the Coyotes are going to do fuck all and not try. I think they got their players just to trade them.
If they did that, they would have done it this year. They would have done that this year.
They do it all the time. They do it constantly. It's every year.
Yeah, but they're never bad enough to be number one.
In my opinion, San Jose's forward talent is better than Arizona's because
That's
they at
only
least
because
have
of
some top
Couture
end
and
guys.
Hurdle.
Yeah, that's my point. They have some top end guys. Arizona
Mind you,
doesn't. They have one
you know what
guy.
this team looks like? It looks like the Sens from a few years back. You know which team I'm talking about. The one that
Yeah.
shipped off Mark Stone and Duchesne and Dezingle. Yes. That's what this team looks like. They have some forwards. They have no defense. They have no goalies. They have no depth.
No defense, no goalies, no bitches, no anything.
Like, genuinely, they finished with 60 points this year. They're going to do worse than that. I'm convinced. They're
Yeah,
going to
they
do worse
probably
than 60
will.
points. They genuinely could finish with like 50 points or
Didn't they
less.
finish with the least amount of wins in the NHL last season? I think they might have. Allow me.
Yep, they did.
Yeah,
The only thing
yeah,
that saved them is that they had 16 overtime
22
losses.
wins. Oh.
They had 22 wins. The only thing that saved them was the fact they had 16
Yeah.
overtime losses.
Yeah, you win. You win. Yeah. San Jose's
You
the worst. You've
cannot
convinced
convince
me.
me they're not going to be the worst team this year.
You've convinced me. Holy shit. That's pretty bad. That's pretty
And their
bad.
decent goalie in James Reimer is gone.
Yeah, you know.
And I even said he's not that good.
Yeah, James Reimer's not that good. I was gonna make a joke from that.
And they got worse
Yeah.
at goalie.
Damn it. Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
bad.
that's where I
pretty
stand with this
bad.
top five. I'm curious to see what you think.
So 5 being the worst. 5 is probably the Sharks because of all the reasons you just said. Like, Jesus Christ, that team is old and has no goaltending. So good luck with that. 4 is the Coyotes because they don't try. They are not an NHL team. They don't try to be an NHL team. And Karel Vejmelka and all of the good players they signed during free agency are going to get traded.
At least they made a bit of an effort to get better this year.
No,
like bringing guys like
don't.
Kerfoot and Zucker and stuff like that is an effort. I'm not saying it's a great effort.
If you say Kerfoot is a good effort one more time,
He is a guy who brings decent, solid depth to a team. I think the pressure was a lot different. The thing about it, like the reason I think about it is because I think about it the same way as like how Nick Bustad had to play with Air, like how he played with Arizona versus having to play with the Oilers, or like
yeah.
Shane Gostisbehere going from Philly to Arizona and then going back to Carolina.
Yeah, but now Kerfoot, who's on the Coyotes, is in an even worse situation.
Sometimes I think being in a worse situation makes players play better. Like Travis Boyd plays a lot better now that he's not with the Leafs.
Story of my fucking life. And they all play better off the Leafs. It's the whole thing.
No, it's just a matter of the
Yeah,
goats just have guys who play better because there's a lot less pressure on them
agreed.
because they barely have any eyes on them. So it's like, okay, well, if we have a bad night, then it doesn't really matter because it's not like the Leafs where like hundreds of thousands of people are watching you.
Yeah.
But that's just how I look at it. But no, I think it's still gonna be bad.
So we got the
100%.
Sharks at 5, the Coyotes at 4. I think the Ducks slide in at 3 because John Gibson's going to be gone. They're still a pretty young team. They have a bunch of bad
Wait, who is their
contracts.
goalie?
So
If John Gibson does leave,
John
who's their
Gibson's
goalie?
leaving, so I think it might be Dostal. Yeah,
Oh Jesus.
yeah, they are fucked.
Oh God.
So Anaheim is 3.
Oh Jesus.
I think the Jets slide in at 2 because I think they're going to purge their whole team. They're already in the process of doing that if they get rid of Hallebuck. And at 1, I think it's I think it might be the Blue Jackets just because of their defense situation, their goaltending situation. Montreal barely misses the cut. Barely misses the cut. I think they have enough decent players to be in the middle of the pack in the league, but I
Yeah.
think Columbus is worse than them just because they don't really have a whole lot there yet. They still have a young team. They still have a bunch of defensemen that are in their system getting ready to come up. They have a bunch of prospects coming up. They have
Yeah.
potential. I just don't think they're there yet. They're
Yeah.
still too
No.
far into the rebuild.
I can understand that. The Blue Jackets, I think I'm just a lot lower than the Blue Jackets because of everything they've done this year.
Yeah.
And just looking at their defense, I'm just like squirming inside. Eric
I
Branson's still
agree.
there. But
God. Well, that
ready for
was
an interesting episode.
we had a long week. I think the next episode is still going to be full of a lot of speculation. I'm hoping the Carlson trade gets done.
It does. Yeah, because we will have to definitely make a few more
Yeah.
moves because it'll
So
be interesting.
everyone keep an eye out. We are doing a collaboration with our friend Harley, who also has a YouTube channel. Um, he is relatively new to hockey and probably knows next to nothing about it, if I had to guess, or at least his knowledge of it is
Yeah, he's not a big sports guy.
pretty elementary. So what we're gonna do with him is we're doing a blind jersey ranking. Just doesn't really know who the teams are, so there's no bias. Just pick which jerseys he thinks are the best, which jerseys he thinks aren't so good in a tier list. We're going to do that with the 3 of us, and the 3 of us are going to submit our takes. It's probably going to be its own episode or a special YouTube video. We'll let you guys know. But we do have some stuff in the works. We will figure all that
We do.
out. We will share that all with you guys when it's out and ready. But until then, thank you guys for tuning in. You guys get another long episode this week. To our American viewers, happy 4th of July. To our Canadian viewers and listeners, happy belated Canada Day to all of you guys. Be sure to have a fun and safe holiday, and we will see you guys next week. Take care,
Sir.
everyone.
See you all.